paper. Different experience. Our next reader is Amy Lowray. Amy is a writer, actress, singer, and improviser. She is currently at work on a novel titled Plain Dealing. And where's Amy? Oh, and she's in Andrew Brachowski's movie Results that you can see in theaters now. So.
This is a novel that's set in a small town in Louisiana. It has two main characters, but this is about a high school girl who's a very good student, nice girl, and then she gets into a fight and embarrasses her parents and grandparents, who are business leaders and church leaders. Their response to this is to send her on a vacation with her grandparents and her brother and her Aunt Frances to a very old resort in Florida. And the scene starts at a formal dinner, tableclothy dinner. Janet, look at that girl over there. She's about your age. Go introduce yourself, said Grand. Janet had never seen her grandmother so coiffed. Her bluish hair and salmon dress complemented the pink walls and the palm frond curtains of the dining room. Janet looked in the direction her Grand was smiling. The girl wore an ivory dress with a lavender sash. She was doing something with the pepper while her parents laughed. No, Grand, she's having fun with her family, said Janet. Grand looked away, silent. Big Jim frowned. Jimmy wrapped the end of his tie around his knife. You know, when your Aunt Frances was young, we'd come here every summer and all the boys would fly in to see her, said Grand. She brought up her drink to her lips in a circular motion. Fly in from where? Janet asked. All over, said Grand. They were from good families, too. You've had a couple of boyfriends. One I liked, but of course he's dead. Grand chuckled a little and took another sip of scotch. Janet's face burned. Jimmy looked up at her, mouth open. Janet dropped her head. She wiped her face with her napkin. She didn't look up when the waiter slid her chicken pasta into her plate setting, carefully avoiding her lowered hair. No one spoke, but she heard silverware clanking on dishes. She glanced at Jimmy, but he kept his eyes on his steak. She sat and waited. Finally, Big Jim got her food to go. They rode the elevator up in silence and walked to their rooms. Before she and Jimmy went into theirs, Big Jim handed her the foil swan with her chicken. Jimmy flopped on the bed and turned on the TV. A new cop show was on. What happened to David, he said. Car wreck. It was last year, don't you remember? Sort of. Was he really your boyfriend? No, he took me to 2 church dances. Mom and Dad are friends with his parents, remember? Oh, yeah. It was last September. Kirk Walsh was drinking at a party, and David said he would drive him home. He was always doing nice things for people. And he didn't drink, so I don't know what happened. Kirk's really hyper anyway. He would have grabbed him or messed with him. We don't know. Grand acted like it was your fault. They all wanted me to like David, but I didn't like him that way. Food smelled good. He sent me flowers for my birthday, about a month before the wreck, but I never called to thank him. Jimmy was drinking a Coke. Janet opened the top of the foil swan and peered into its back at the chicken pasta. She was so hungry. Why not, said Jimmy. I didn't want him to send me flowers. I mean, it was nice, but I didn't want him to be nice. I'd already told him I didn't want to be his girlfriend. I don't know. Jimmy guzzled his Coke. Where did you get that? Janet asked. Aunt Frances, probably. There's one for you in the ice bucket. Janet leapt off the bed and grabbed her can of ice-cold Coca-Cola. She got a towel from the bathroom and spread it out on her lime green bedspread. She put the swing bolt on the door. Is there a fork or a spoon, she said. She looked all around the room. Flamingos sat on the green and gold dresser, and a painting of a beach at night hung on the wall. She sat cross-legged on the bed and opened the foil, eating with her hands and wiping them on the towel. They sipped their Cokes and watched a man grab a woman on TV and hold her mouth while he killed her with a hypodermic needle full of heroin to make it look like an overdose. She'd seen this kind of murder before on Starsky and Hutch. It was so easy to kill someone. The ash blonde woman struggled in her clean kitchen, then collapsed onto the orange linoleum floor. Jimmy held his breath. Hey, butthead, she said. Then she giggled and snorted Coke out of her nose. Ow, that hurts. Jimmy started giggling. Janet pulled the mascara off her eyelashes in clumps while eating her pasta with her fingers and sipping Coke. Jimmy made fart noises during the emotional scenes and jumped on the bed in excitement and fear as the cops chased down the killer. Jimmy flipped the channels as Janet used her new bottle of eye makeup remover to loosen the mascara caked around her eye corners, lodged there from trickles of tears. The stuff stung her eyes, but she dabbed again and again, wiping hard to be clear of the black ink. Thank you.